Welcome everybody to episode 312 of the Craftverse series, and today we're going to get to rebuilding those frog statues by Bitgardener. Thank you for your contribution to the community. We're also going to be adding in some posts, but I'm not going to start building the rest of the gazebo on camera. I'm just going to show you what it looks like off camera because Tally Builds has a good tutorial and you should definitely check it out. So let's go ahead and get started on some frogs. We're going to go ahead and scoop up these. Not going to worry so much about the blackstone. However, you need to move. All right. So this is where they're going to fit perfectly in. And I need to use diorite here. Not diorite, andesite here. Stone here. And switch it by going one back. Then we need this. That's going to be in the back. This is going to be right here. Now we need those in the far back. Then we do this. And then we do this. And just like that. So now it's time to do these. And I think I did lose some materials when I built it the last time. I'm missing the backs. Unfortunate. That said, I can put this here. You where you go. Put the eyes in. Only going to use 2 of those because I'm going to be putting in a carpet right here, but after I get the sides in. So those are both these. This is going to be a light source block. Did I not keep them with me? Oh, no, I did. So we're going to do 1 in each. 1 on this guy. And what I want you to do is be the 2 tall. There we go. And I want you to be the 2 tall, and you did it first try. Beautiful. Those need to be stairs, and then we're good. It's just getting the water flowing, and I can do that now. And that's spewing out this way. So we're good on all of those. I'm going to go ahead and put the sign right here. Frog statue. Designed by Bitgardener on YouTube. Here we go. Statue has been moved. There's only 3 pieces that are missing. And I have a stone cutter to get those parts. But let me make sure that I didn't put some things in the wrong spot here. I think it's all the same stuff. We'll find out in a moment if I've messed up. Either way, let's finish off our froggy. It's a pretty little frogger. It's fully spawn-proofed, has his little water stream, that way if I ever fall in, I can get back out. Fortunately, that also means if a wandering trader falls in, he can get back out. Pros and cons. So let's go ahead and grab that, stone and andesite, and then I could just grab the rest of the material. And that is everything that I will need for the build. Now we repeat, but in reverse, because he's going to be looking the other direction. So you're going to be going here, here. Got that. Let's cut an extra one. We'll just put you there. Hmm. Eyeballs. Really? Okay, I have a solution for this. It does involve carving in, but I can now just place that there. And then stone cutter. Not sure how that got kerfuffled, but it's an easy fix. And now the frog is installed. You need to be the 2 tall. There we go. Back on this side. 2 tall. Go. Spawn proof the top with a little additional lighting. And then get the water stream flowing. Kind of defeats the purpose if I don't have the sign. Same shtick. It's weird that you can't place ink on a sign while you're crouched. But alas, our frogs are now in, and they will fit perfectly into the new gazebo build. Because I have to put a post here, and I have to put a post here, and it's like he's reclining into the side. He already looks like he's kind of reclined in as well. If you look from the side view, he looks like he's sat back. So having him lean against a post actually works well. So Let's go ahead and take these out and put them in here. Actually, I will be needing these. Those can come with me. Wait a minute. Hold on. How many are left? Maybe enough. If not, close to it. Yeah, I don't need any more of that stuff. That can stay over there. This is just empty, so it can stay in my inventory. Keep that on me. All right, so now that we've got all of this in, let's get some of these posts. That is not going to be enough. That's a start. That ought to be enough to get us started. So I need you to go here, 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 and here on all sides. Perfect diagonal. Oh, it's not enough. Balls. All right, and that is where the posts are going to start. I'm going to go ahead and build the rest of this in a moment, and I will see you when we have a gazebo ready. It is done. We have a fully flushed out gazebo with some additions as well, because the original tutorial did not include glowberries, but when I showed my roommate the original Tally Builds design, she went, you can add a little pop of color by throwing in some glowberries, and she's right. And the plant above me just dripped all over my sprite. There's spore in my sprite, oh no. Yeah, it's a spore blossom up there. I also added in some glow lichen above it for additional lighting on the roof. But I think this came out very nicely. And as I stated before, the frog looks like he's reclining into the pillars, which looks quite nice, I think. Let me know your thoughts. Would you have built this out of the original oak and spruce combo, or would you have perhaps gone with dark oak and cherry wood, or maybe a white wood variant with something else? Or maybe even make it a nether type of gazebo. That could be cool. I might do a couple variants of this gazebo, but go check out Telly Builds on YouTube whenever you get a chance. Very in-depth and detailed tutorials. I like it. Let's get a broader view of this, though. Land up on top of the egg. That is a nice addition. Gives it more of a wild and naturey vibe to the area instead of just being a bridge straight across into a very decrepit. Okay. That mob grinder has been around since the inception of this world, so it's staying for historical value. It's not going to be pretty, and I'm not fixing it up, but it's gonna look the way it is. I say that even though I have fixed up the roof. And I made it effective, and I made a killing chamber on the inside for my alt account, who threw in all the tridents, and I should probably make sure those tridents are still there, to be fair, because the other one, way back yonder, had all of the tridents fall through the bottom of the world, and I had to replace them, which led to me having to repair it because creepers are evil, vile critters, and I'm very lucky that they didn't escape while they were blowing everything up. That could have been very bad because all I had was the chute blocked, and there was still like 6 mobs that fell through, one of which was a creeper, and the rest were just skeletons. So I'm glad nothing escaped. But now nothing can because it's fully blast proof. Ancient debris. I got tired of fixing it after the third time. Sue me. But this is about as much work as is going on for the exterior of this particular mob grinder, and I like how my little area is developing. It works very nicely with the mud bricks and the spruce in tandem with the barrel house by Nanoroid. And it's starting to look like more than just an industry zone. It's starting to look like somebody lives here. You know what? You've been here for like 5 minutes. Let's see what you're selling. Oh, well, Death would be happy about that. Ground mushrooms. I don't need your coral. Ferns. Ferns are pretty much the only interesting trade on here. But I think I have a few ferns. So I'm gonna take your leads off your hands, buddy. It's not animal abuse, they're pixels. Leave it alone. Eh. Eh. I didn't tell you to spawn here, but I will tell you to despawn here. Alright. Now let's go recline on our little park bench. Nice, peaceful, meditative sight. You get to look at the nice, ever-flowing frog water, which is better than dog water. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. Thank you, Bit Gardener, for that. And thank you, Tally Builds, for making a tutorial for this wonderful gazebo. Hopefully my video gives you guys a little bit of traffic because you deserve it. Peaceful. I know these are supposed to be fireflies, but they just look like the particle effects from, you know, Soul Sand Valley. Nether survival has been interesting. But speaking of the Nether, I actually haven't shown you guys much of the Nether hub, have I? We can go fix that right now. Since I did most of today's building off camera, let's showcase a little bit of the other off-camera changes that have taken place. Okay, nothing too crazy so far. But you notice that it's a lot bigger in here. I have expanded out from the original portal sets that I've had. Like, that's the one for my base, and I'm not too keen on you standing in the portal, but you just went through it, so... There's going to be a pigman in my base, that's fun. You're hearing jumping around, and that is from either above us or below us, because everything around here is slabbed and spawn-proofed. I also have 5 traders. I can take a bunch of gold, I can lump it in here, and every time I click a button, it will cycle all 5 of these dispensers to shoot one out. I could put a clock on it, but I don't really know how to do that. And I have given myself an easy out, so I can just walk up here. I have slabbed and stared as much as I could to get up far enough that I wouldn't spawn anything. But this eventually will take you out to the delta, and you see what I mean about those white particles? It's not soul sand particles, it's delta particles. I had to get it right. So we can come all the way down here. Yes, I can't run because I'll bop my head. I'd rather that than let an Enderman down here. I make no apologies for that. But I can fly into my nether hub. All the way to Warden Tower. I haven't extended this out all the way to the Mangrove Tower. It's really not that far away. Okay, Why am I taking damage ticks? Yeah. Mangrove Tower would probably only very slightly scale over. But it's from like 370 to 232. Okay, it's a little farther than I thought. But it's not quite as far as this. All the way to the Piglin bartering farm. And let me tell you, I would not have done this Piglin bartering farm on recording. It took me legitimately over an hour just to bring Pegos. I guess I should show you why. Yeah, I'll show you why. Let me get my rockets. We're gonna go for a flight all the way down. And also, this exists now. This did not exist when I was doing that. So we're gonna take that on the way back. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the boat. We're gonna take the long way, because that's how I had to take the pigs. Starting at about 110, right? So, flew all the way over here. All the way down. It's a long flight. I could even go back into third-person view and look at myself. That's how long I can actually fly legitimately without hitting a wall. But, it goes all the way to 845, right? Okay. Then we take a little bit of a detour, and then we flick this way. And this connects all the way back up to where we just were. This was not like this initially. So let me grab the boat. And we're going to zoom all the way to the end, so you can see just how absurdly far this is. This was all just regularly slabbed initially. My Switch is struggling real hard with this right now. All the way down to 1679. Right? Okay. Bear that in mind. Because this over here is where I have my frog lights. Yeah. I'm using the legitimate naturally generated spawner from inside of a bastion. I have 9 of each color frog in there. And they send all of their goodies through here. I haven't run this thing in a while, because I haven't needed to with my duping. But it is possible, because 2 of these are fully filtered. That one's not even filtered. But I haven't gone, like, I haven't filled any of them up. However, I did hollow out the remainder of the centered chamber, spawn-proofed it. I would break one of these pieces of glass, maybe 2, throw a piece of gold in there, get one of the piglins. He would run out, chase me. I would suffer through being shot once before I realized, you know what? It's not a good idea to get the crossbow guy. I'm going to go for the guy with the sword, because the sword will just chase you. The crossbow guy, especially if you have thorns, has a chance of dying. And that's not pleasant. Because that's a long, long walk with just this slab floor. Having to carry the ire of a pig. Now, I couldn't get him to go through this traditional means, so I had to break open the floor, dig out into that treasure room that I built up for my froglight farm, and have them follow me down that stairwell all the way to here, where we would commence the long trek out. It was not the most pleasant experience, and I had to do it 5 separate times. So I was not going to be doing that on recording. You can be upset with me if you really want to. That is entirely your call. I didn't have the intelligence to build this ice highway until after I had done that all 5 times. And thankfully, I don't actually have to make that little pit stop over there. Where am I going? Where am I going? Can't see. Spinning. Okay, this is the divide. But if I continue just going this way without spinning, hopefully. Oh, no, we're spinning. I don't know what direction we're going. Lag, lag, lag. Where am I going? And we're still going down. Okay, I stopped the boat. Stop. Just get out of the boat. Get out of the boat. Okay, just go down. Just go down. This is why I don't like 3 wide ice highways. Casually turn, and then go this way. Okay, we will make it back to the main hub. It just may be a little bit of a weird ride. No, no, don't go backwards. Get a boat. You know what? No more boat for you. No more boat for you. We were this close and you couldn't even make it with the boat. Mental note, do not make 3 wide boat highway, only make 2 wide. Boat no turn on 2 wide. Okay. So I have expanded this all the way out, even as far as the raid farm and ultimately the end portal room. Now, while we still have access to the duping, I'm actually considering respawning in the dragon, so I can get my hands on Dragon's Breath, which I was not intelligent enough to do the first time. I was trying so hard not to die, I didn't bother bringing any bottles, so I never got the Dragon's Breath. I have looked in my ender chest so many times. I have looked in every storage chest in every build that I've ever made. I have not left behind Dragon's Breath. I never got it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to fight that dragon if I want to get any tipped arrows. So no redstone fountains for me until that happens. But we've got a few builds to do before I bother respawning in the dragon. Let's actually go back to my visage. Just where we started this journey from, because I don't feel like saying hi to a piglin in my base, just on the off chance he swipes at me. The amount of lag I've been enduring with this particular realm for a while, better safe than sorry. Ah, the safety of the overworld. And this island is the safest island in the entire world. I have lit up so much and built so many things around here that no evil mobs can spawn here. And what's high is actually spawn proofed as well. That build up there, fully spawn proof. Nothing can spawn up there. That build all the way up at 200 where the creaking spawn, they can only spawn in that chamber. I have carpeted everything else that they could have potentially spawned on, or put a slab where they can't spawn on that over the redstone, because mental note, they can spawn on redstone now. I don't know why Mojang hates us, but I'm going to say their name wrong until they don't. So, yeah. This is the safest island. That one over there is second, but I haven't fully explored it yet. Ironically, the island I live on is not the safest island in this planet. Is a Minecraft world technically a planet? It seems to go on forever. That'd be a huge planet. I don't really know. Let me know in the comments on what your thoughts are. But isn't this beautiful? Give or take my face in 4 directions. You can see a fox. You can see a giant sniffer egg and a sheep head in the background and Death's heart over there. And a shulker with a horse for some reason. I don't know why the horse is hugging the shulker area. And then the butt of a frog because I didn't face him towards the main area. Probably should have in hindsight, but I thought it would be cool to have him facing the actual pond like he's trying to hop towards everything. Hindsight. I could turn him around. All the materials would still be there. And this is the 4th episode in a row where you have started raining when I need to get a thumbnail. Why do you want me wet? Why? If I wanted to be wet, I would just jump into the pond and travel up the frog's spit. That is a weird sentence I never thought I would ever say. How many times has that happened to you? The the sentence thing, not the frog spit thing. I don't want to know the answer to that question. But even in the rain, it's pleasant in this gazebo. So, one final thank you to Tally Builds, as well to Bet Gardener for your frog additions, and to everyone else, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week for more Minecrafty nonsense. We have another fantasy build to do. It's gonna be big. Well, medium, but it's gonna be big.